Hi everybody, and welcome to this video where we are talking about other Solvency II information. We've done the three pillars and we were part of the way through doing this reducing capital required section. So there are a couple of ways in which the regulations allow you to reduce the amount of capital that you're holding, and though they are called the matching adjustment and the volatility adjustment. So we just talked through how you do the matching adjustment, or what the matching adjustment is. So basically, if you've got certain assets backing certain liabilities, then you can add something on called the matching adjustment to your risk-free rates that you use to discount those liabilities. So a higher discount rate means that your BEL is smaller, and so that gives you more capital or more free assets, if you prefer. And that's often used for corporate bonds backing annuity liabilities. The other one I want to cover is similar, and that again it's something that's added on to the risk-free rate, and it's called the volatility adjustment. So let's go up to the top and start over on the right hand side to cover this. So this is our, switch back to black, this is our volatility adjustment. Okay, so this is similar to the matching adjustment. It is an addition to the risk-free rate which effectively reduces the liabilities, although it is shown as an asset on the balance sheet. So in the same way as with the matching adjustment, you're adding something onto the risk-free rate in order to discount your liabilities more. The way in which you actually show the effect is you kind of have your best estimate liabilities discounted normally, and then the impact of the volatility adjustment, like the matching adjustment, is shown as an asset effect on that side of the balance sheet. But it comes to the same thing. You're ending up reducing capital. So the difference here is that it is recalculated regularly by the regulator. The idea is switch to blue. If your, let's say, put corporate in brackets. So if your corporate bond portfolio market value falls, then the volatility adjustment increases, i.e. If bond values change, then the regulator will change the amount of the volatility adjustment. If the prices fall, the volatility adjustment will be increased. So, volatility adjustment asset on the balance sheet increases. And that means, or that implies, you are less likely to sell bonds. This prevents the Solvency II regulation from, let's say, creating a market crash. But it also encourages companies to hold riskier assets. So if the volatility adjustment did not exist and you're holding bonds or corporate bonds and the market value of those bonds falls, then you are less solvent. It may also be the case that your SCR increases. And so all of that encourages you to get rid of bonds. So the bond market value falls, say the corporate bond market value falls, so you end up selling those corporate bonds. And because you're selling those corporate bonds, then the market value falls further. So if you like, without the volatility adjustment, the insurance companies are incentivized to, in some sense, exacerbate a market crash. The volatility adjustment is there to prevent that. So if the market values of these corporate bonds change in a certain way, so if they fall, then the volatility adjustment increases so that you don't end up having a massive impact on your balance sheet. And that means that you're less likely to sell those bonds and you're less likely to create a crash. Now, I think from memory, if you're using the matching adjustment, you aren't allowed to use the volatility adjustment. I think that's right. I might be wrong. But if you're not using the matching adjustment, then definitely this volatility adjustment can apply. So yeah, so it's kind of like a high-level additional kind of adjustment to the regulations, kind of almost at the end, I suppose, in order to make sure that the regulations don't incentivize an insurance company behavior that is not in everybody's interests. That's the idea. Okay, so that's the matching adjustment and the volatility adjustment, both adjustments to risk discount rates in certain situations. What they do is they either increase the free assets on the balance sheet or help stabilize the balance sheet. Okay, let's just have a quick look at our agenda before we stop. So that's reducing capital required, and when we come back we'll talk a little bit about supervisory intervention. So that just means when the regulator will get a bit more involved in what the company is doing.